The Sports Box proudly presents Birnbaum versus Galetta in a field goal kicking duel. Watch as Sports Box host Hamilton Mike Galetta takes on local fan David Birnbaum in a field goal kicking duel for the ages. We will go live Sunday, February 26th at high noon for all of our YouTube subscribers. And if you'd like to be there live, come on out and support us at Mark A. Sorali Memorial Field on Flittertown Road in Elm. This is one you will not want to miss.
Well, hello again, and welcome to the show that will never, ever, ever give you a bladder infection. This is the Sports Box, where the only opinion that matters is right here. I am Mike Galetta, a.k.a. Hampton Mike, along with my partner, Brian, the Ranger Tar. Brian, how are you?
I don't have a bladder infection.
Let's see that. You're on the Sports Box. That's good.
You know what?
You'll never get it here, ever.
I wonder if watching the Sports Box is somehow like some sort of vaccine against getting a bladder infection.
Oh, fucking absolutely. What are you kidding me?
So that
absolutely.
We could market that.
We could. Well, we wouldn't be doing a show. We wouldn't be smiling and giving our opinions. But anyway, today we are going to talk about landing spots for Mr. Tony Romo. It's been rumored all year that the Cowboys will either release or try to trade him. I think it's going to be, we have, I guess, two separate opinions on this. I do think Tony Romo is gone from the Cowboys. I think he's going to be traded, though. The deadline is coming up for him to get released. As it comes closer and closer, I'm probably changing my opinion. I've always thought he's going to get traded. I think if he does get traded, his two landing spots that are viable for him are Arizona and Denver, just because Denver thinks they have the defense to win it, and Arizona because I don't think Carson Palmer is going to survive the year. There could be some other spots, but I think those are the two best ones for Tony Romo.
So, I'm a little conflicted on this. I'm conflicted because obviously, I know Romo's gone. I know this is Dak's team going forward, and that's fine. But I don't think he gets cut until June 1st. And I say that because it's not going to be a trade either. I say that because if the Cowboys either trade him or cut him before June 1st, you're going to see $19.6 million in dead money on the cap, which represents a $5.1 million savings. Okay. I mean, it's not ideal. It's not great, but it's fine. If the Cowboys cut him after June 1st, it's only $10.7 million in dead money, and that frees up $14 million against the cap. And for a team which is going to have a couple of guys that need some money here, I think that it makes some sense. Cap space has a value.
It does, absolutely.
So, to me, is it worth a difference from $14 million in savings down to $5.1 just to get like a fifth-round pick or something? Probably not. I think you get a lot more flexibility from the cap space. So to me, I think that Tony Romo, as of the 2nd of June, is going to be a free agent. And as far as his landing spots, I think the perfect spot is Denver.
Yep.
This episode of the Sports Box is brought to you by Mic'd Up Entertainment and DJ Mike Velardi. For all of your event planning needs, make sure you contact Mike at 609-864-5925 and tell him that you saw him on the Sports Box.
Perfect spot is Denver because then, Romo will be there, maybe a year or two?
Yep.
And Paxton Lynch can take over from there at that point. I got to tell you, you put Tony Romo on the Denver Broncos right now, I think that team might be, on par with New England.
And I see what you're saying, but in the same sense about the Tony Romo thing, if he gets traded, he can work with them on a trade to where he wants to go and they control it for him. At least they get something for Tony Romo instead of just saying, okay, see you later, have a good time. Because like you said, the big issue is the cap money with him. And the cap does go up a little bit. They're going to have a little bit of space here and there, but like you said, the Cowboys need room. So to get rid of him and trade him to a team like Denver and get something in return, I think is more viable for the Cowboys than it is just flat out release a guy who's been there, been a good soldier for years, although he's been hurt, is a good player, and you send him where he wants to go. I think that's ideal.
Yeah, but it's a big difference in money though, Mike. I mean, you're talking $5 to $14 million. It's a $9 million difference. I mean, that's players on a team that needs the space. That's why I said, again, to me, I just think the cap space has the most value. You let Tony go do whatever he wants. You don't let it get caught up with what do you got to get in compensation. Again, I'm a big Tony Romo guy. I think he's still got a couple years left in him, and I think he's going to go to a team like maybe a Denver, maybe in Arizona. I mean, listen, there's no shortage of open quarterback spots in the league. The quarterback play as a whole in the NFL hasn't been this bad ever. So it's not like he can't have his choice of where he wants to go. And I think, like I said, Arizona and Denver are great landing locations because you got a ready-built teammate around them. But, the Jets are going to need a quarterback. Chicago's trying to trade Jay Cutler. There's openings, okay? So he'll be fine.
Now, I want you to picture Jerry Jones in the living room watching himself in the Super Bowl a long time ago and thinking to himself, okay, you know what? Let's just cut Tony Romo. I don't want him here anymore. We have Dak. I don't want him anymore. I think he's a loyalty guy, and I think he wants to get something for his loyal soldier. And I think he wants to work with Tony and say, hey, let's get you somewhere where you want to go to make it profitable for the Cowboys as well. I don't think Jerry Jones just lets him walk.
But don't you think that asking for compensation could be a hindrance to a deal?
Not necessarily.
Because
it could.
So let's say, okay, so humor me. He calls up John Elway. Hey John, it's Jerry. How you doing?
Click.
Yeah, that's like the scenario. But so now let's say Denver's interested. Now Denver, on top of picking up Tony Romo's ridiculous contract, which is its own problem, number one, then you have to give up something of value to Dallas to get him. I just don't think that that's a scenario that sees itself play out. I think for everybody involved,
right,
pull off the Band-Aid and let him go.
I think like I said, I think they still try to trade him. But like you said, as it gets closer to June 1st, if there's no effort for him to go to another team or nobody wants him because of that big money, then they're going to have to flat out release him. They have no other choice.
And really, think about that. So you have a guy who's got a $24.7 million cap number. Yeah. Now, I am not a capologist. I don't know what that necessarily looks like on a different team, but I know it's not great. So I think he becomes a much more attractive commodity if he's just a free agent.
Yeah, but
and again, for Dallas to get $14 million in savings when they pretty much have to, you look at some of the holes that team has. Again, they're going to be a contender in the NFC, but they have a lot of defensive holes, especially in the secondary. You have guys that need contracts.
And it'll be interesting to see what kind of contract Tony Romo wants to sign. If he goes to Denver, is he going to be okay maybe signing a 2 or maybe even a 1-year deal? And
would he take less money to go to a contender to win a Super Bowl? Romo's always been a guy who hates losing more than he loves winning. And again, he's made a lot of money in his career.
Yeah.
In fact, would you like to know how much money Tony Romo has made in his career?
He's made a lot of money.
I bet you I can find that figure. If you give me a quick second here, I bet you I can find that figure.
I just, like you said, I think that's the unattractive thing with him is the big money on his agreement. And the deal he did sign last was a huge monster deal.
Yeah.
So that's kind of hindering them a little bit.
Well,
that's going to scare off a lot of people.
I mean, it doesn't give me the exact figures. I'm on a website that doesn't have the exact figure, but man, this guy's made some money. I mean, do you want to adopt me, Tone?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it was in the neighborhood of, I think his last deal was in the neighborhood of $27 million.
So the deal he signed most recently was a $108 million deal. It was an average of $18 million a year with $40 million guaranteed.
Okay.
And he's got 3 years left, and that's the thing.
Yep.
The thing is, that's why I think the free agency is the route to go. Because again, if the Cowboys were just to cut him, they're going to see $14 million in cap savings for 2017, $19 million in cap savings for 2018, and $20.5 million in cap savings for 2019.
Well, what they have to do is probably buy him out of his agreement and actually pay off some a little bit of that debt. Nobody's going to take all that money.
Well, that's the thing. So
and
again,
they're going to have to pay money for that.
Is all of this worth getting a 6th or 7th round pick? Probably not.
Probably not, but I mean, just
that's the thing.
but I think loyalty is the thing there that Jerry Jones looks at too. For a guy who's been there all this time, he's been a good soldier. He hasn't said a word this year. He hasn't said boo. He's actually supported Dak.
He did.
So that's something that I think comes in effect too. But like I said, you could be right. If there's no, I think the trade opportunity comes around when they first open up the free agency. If there's no interest for him or they can't get rid of him because of the money and they don't want to give too much money, then they're going to have to release him and just cut ties. It's going to be a hard thing to do, but they're going to have to do it.
And I'm going to tell you right now, wherever he goes, unless it's the Jets, he's going to be successful.
Yeah, he's one hit away from a career ending now, so hopefully he
everybody is.
Even you?
Yes, absolutely. Have a bus hit me, see how I do.
So if I come on the show one day and just blindside you, you're done?
Well, the next time you throw a thing in front of my face and I feel the wind coming by,
if it's that easy, I might sneak over there and just try to...
What would you do with that?
That's true. I'd probably be fumbling around as usual. Anyway, thank you for watching the Tony Romo special about where he's going to land. Keep an eye out. We always have good stuff coming.
And, of course, make sure you're following us on all sorts of social media, whether it's Twitter at SportsBuck Show, Facebook at SportsBuck Show, where we have the occasional live videos exclusive for our Facebook fans. And, of course, you have to like the Sports Box on Facebook to make sure that you're watching our special event on Sunday, February 26th at high noon, where my co-host here, Hamilton Mike Galetta, goes on a field goal kicking duel against one of our local fans in the area, Dave, Buy with Burn Bomb. It's going to be one of those things you're just going to really, really, really enjoy. Mike's getting really excited here. Look at Mike doing the Undertaker thing.
Oh, my God.
It's
going to be I'm ready.
So again, make sure you like us on Facebook, but of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll see the logo right at the end of the show here. You can subscribe right through there. The numbers are going great. Thank you guys. We're going to keep making sure we keep you happy.
And you know what, Brian? Because at the Sports Box, the only opinion that matters is right here.
I did hear that.
Once or twice.
Was that a rumor or is that true?
I just started right now.
All right.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. See you.
Don't forget to subscribe.